Hello, my name is Matthew Smith, and I serve as Executive Director of the Coalition Against Insurance Fraud, based in Washington, D.C. I'd like to begin by thanking our friends and colleagues at FRISS for the opportunity to share with you a few thoughts today. The two topics I'd like to talk with you about are both crucial, we believe, to the future of insurance fraud investigation, both in the United States and around the globe. So what are the two issues? First, let's talk about research and data technology. The entire future of insurance fraud investigation is going to be based on those two words of research and data technology. At the Coalition, we do a number of research studies. Recently, those studies have included topics such as the use of artificial intelligence, the state of insurance fraud technology, which we do every 2 years, about how technology is being used and data used to fight fraud, and the study we are currently running on data ethics. So why are we doing this, and why is data so important? As insurers look to protect themselves and consumers from insurance fraud, data has to be the key in fighting insurance fraud. Whether it's the ability to search the internet for image verification, whether it's to use voice recognition, facial recognition to identify fraudsters, even before they're able to secure policies of insurance or make fraudulent claims. The future of insurance fraud deals with these forms of data technology. And what's the impact of that? Why is it important? First, we want to detect fraud earlier in the process to prevent it from ever occurring. Second, data allows insurers to more accurately identify insurance fraud. And one of the great things with data technology in emerging years has been the decreasing number of false positives, the ability of that data to quickly give accurate information. And it allows us to better use resources by combining machine learning, artificial intelligence, data technology, so the human aspect of insurance fraud can be investigated so much more efficiently. So that's the first issue I'd like to talk with you about today. The second is strictly human in nature, but it's also going to define the future of the world of the fight against insurance fraud. And that is something the Coalition Against Insurance Fraud is deeply devoted to. And that is more diversity, equity, and inclusion in the fraud fighting community. I've had the distinct privilege of being a part of the anti-fraud community for almost now 40 years. It's a career I could never have envisioned being so wonderful. But you know, the reality is most of the people that I've had the opportunity to work with in my professional years have been exactly like me. I hope that's not what the future of fraud fighting looks like. We need to make certain that the fraud fighters of tomorrow are more diverse, more inclusive of the communities that we are called upon to serve. Whether that's on the insurer SIU side, whether it's through organizations such as the Coalition, whether it's through great partners like FRISS, so many striving changes are being made right now to increase diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, some will embrace that fully, and we commend that. Others are going to need a little bit of either regulatory or consumer push to force them to realize the importance of more diverse, equity, and inclusive policies in the anti-fraud community. But I can tell you, from the perspective of the Coalition Against Insurance Fraud, absolutely, we want to see the fraud-fighting community of the future more accurately reflect the wonderful fabric, the diversity, the many cultures that form the entire community that we serve. So that's the challenge I would lay out to you today. Let's use the data technology. Let's use these new resources and tools that we have available. But let's also look at the human side and make sure that the future of the fraud fight, both in America and around the globe, reflects the diversity, equity, and inclusiveness that we all strive for in this wonderful planet we call Earth as our home. So thank you, FRISS. Thank you for the privilege and opportunity to be a part of this wonderful anti-fraud community, and on behalf of the Coalition Against Insurance Fraud, to share with you these thoughts today. Take care.